Look at our total contingency, and if you remember, we had rolled in our bid savings into our contingency, so we had about $3.6 million. We've spent about 500,000, so it leaves us about 3.1 remaining. And we have $332,000 in pending items. So we're doing really, really well. And these are those pending items. One of the big ones, though, is a $100,000 item, is the storage.
Shed for maintenance,
Yeah, item number 109.
right in the middle, yeah.
Yep. But you can see, so above that, most of those are pretty, they're pretty old now. We haven't received PCOs on any of that stuff, proposed change orders from the contractor, so hopefully we don't see any. But we'll say going down from there, they're kind of small, $1,500, $800, $1,000.
Whatever happened to the roof hatch? I remember that was a.
I just crossed it off just now.
Did you really? Yeah?
Yeah,
I
because
just remember that.
it works.
Yeah.
I mean, it could be nice to be bigger, but it works.
Yeah, and at this point,
I just remember that as a conversation. I just remember.
yeah, so starting at 137,
Mm-hmm.
that we actually do have a PCO for.
Oh, okay.
That's PCO 90. This is on the third story at the hollow metal frames that have glass in them. Just stiffeners to those frames so that, because the glass is pretty big. So
Yeah.
the cost for that is $11,731. We recommend proceeding with that one. Below that is just added CO detectors in the mechanical room, $1,000 item. Next one below that is the $25,000, and that's for fuel. And I don't remember how we ended up on that.
Well, I mean, this group approved it, number one. We've issued a CCD. And
Okay,
where
so we're just
at
waiting
is
for a
Rick is
price.
just,
We're just waiting for the bill.
well, it's not even a price, it's just a matter of, they put it in, and whatever the price is of the day, they give us the bill. Show us the bill.
We're just waiting for the final bill.
Yeah.
So we
and
could roll it
for them
into
to
it.
actually put it in.
Okay, then below that, upgrade seated area to sod. That's one that we do have a PCO for. It was $5,356. I don't know if that's something that you guys want to.
There were
Well, now-
concerns on that, too.
Where's this?
I think it was,
144?
Yes,
maybe you, Hank, and possibly Kirk.
it's not that big of an area.
No,
What are we talking about?
There's
What do you
the
really
sod. Oh,
gaining?
yeah.
Is it just a regular area in the front or the side?
it's the area, coming off South Road, all the way to the right.
Yeah.
No, I take that back. Give me a second. So many. Yeah, we went over this, I'm trying to picture it. It's,
Is it near someone else's
Behind the
property?
we're getting it, it was around the building.
Oh,
Some of it was already,
Kind of off to the side type little areas. It didn't really seem like it's not like it's right by the front door where you need it, where you want
one
it.
area was to the right where the propane tank is now, the police department to the right,
oh, yeah.
that strip.
Oh,
It was that.
yeah, that's
It was,
no
I think,
reason
a
we can't
strip
plant
up at the
that.
front, at
Yeah.
the end of the building where it kind of goes up towards South Road.
Yeah.
It was just a matter of, the couple areas are gonna have sod, and next to it, you're gonna have hydro seed, and it's still gonna be right in front of the building,
Oh.
as opposed to
Oh.
off in the parking lot,
Right, right.
I
a
see.
strip here and a strip there.
Yeah.
That reminds me of something else.
That's fine with me.
You mean to go with the sod?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead with it.
Obviously, because it's all going to be sodded, obviously, other than those areas. Because you're going to have like you just said, some hydro-seeded or some sod,
Right.
right? So the ask is that where you would have hydro-seeded in that one location to put the sod.
Upgrade.
Right,
Or is
so
it vice-
Upgraded.
Yes.
upgraded sod.
Right.
We still have hydro seed.
Right,
It was just more instant, real nice look.
right.
The problem with sod is you gotta water the heck out of it, so maintaining it.
Right.
To keep it growing till it really knits into the ground and
Right.
establishes itself.
And we do have irrigation in the area in the front next to the playground, the big one, where we're gonna put it sod. We're irrigated. These, we don't, so that's the only downside. It's who's gonna be out there water.
That'd be a good question for Rick.
Yeah,
Not about who, but what would he, what would he go with?
yeah.
Just given the fact that if,
Yeah, let's defer to Rick then.
let's defer to Rick, just so his thought is about that.
Yep.
I have a feeling he's gonna go with sod. If I know Rick, I think he's just gonna go with sod, but.
The next one is just some window sills at breakout rooms, $3,500. Then we have upgrade the passage sets. I think that one's going away, the 13,625, right?
What number?
Number 148.
No, we don't know. Jen is still trying to look.
She's
into
looking
it.
at that. But anyway, so that's a real number, but
I'd hope it doesn't go away, quite honestly, because I think we need it for safety, and so, and Emily agrees. Jen just thinks, you know how you can come up with scenarios? Well, talk about safety. Well, what if the government comes in here and he does this? Well, then this. What if he does that instead of this? And he goes, you can come up with all sorts of scenarios, and every one she was giving me, I was giving her one in the other direction. Basically, what it does is it makes the classroom secure. But she's
Oh, I
gonna
remember
check.
this now.
Yeah.
The passage set, yes, the
Yeah,
lock
so you
sets,
got-
that's right, I remember
Got
now.
a big glass door.
Yes, yep,
The people are gonna,
yep.
you can lock that, but you can also break it,
Yeah, well, yeah.
right, I guess. But if they're in a panic and they dash into the classrooms, shut the door behind themselves, those doors don't lock.
Oh, lock, okay.
And so now you walk right into the
Mhm.
breakout room. Let's assume the breakout room door is folded open.
Yeah.
Your first concern is get the kids in the classroom, not, oh, wait, let me go close this. This way I'm trying to think of it.
Yep.
And
Gardner Middle School was a passive lock, so every time it closed, that door locked. Now, so you were constantly having, the key as a principal, I was constantly having the key in, you know what I mean, that kind of thing, which was fine. I'm just saying that, I think that's what you're talking about, right? Passive lock, if I close it, it's locked on the outside? Is that what you mean? Yeah, right. Yep, okay.
It's a thumb turn on one side and
Yes, right.
you key in from the other.
What's the serving line? Oh, no, I'm sorry, I cut ahead, sorry.
no, that's okay. The next one is only about $800,
Yep.
so we can skip right over it. And that's done. We brought
Before they
conduit
paved it.
out into the parking lot. So the serving line, the kitchen people looked at it and they said, hey, can we do this? And they thought that would really help the flow. Now, we had thrown $50,000 there because we didn't know if it's all these stainless steel counters, what needs to be modified. We haven't gotten a price. I know that they looked
We
at,
didn't get the official, we have a budget number from the vendor.
what is it?
There's two options, one is like
What's the most expensive option?
725 and change, and so you could be up to 40. By
Okay,
the time you had everyone's markup and
Yeah,
there's other
so-
electrical stuff to do,
when are they gonna get us that?
when we can get a decent thing to price up. We've been going back and forth with them.
Okay, because
They
we
said
are
early.
basically out of
Oh, I
time.
know that. The guy asked me that too. I know.
So I would say, let's not bother with it, but, since we've already started the process, we'll continue, but, just some modifications as to the brick to get the coursing to line up by the basketball hoop. Just threw a number at that at 5,000. Gang bathroom mirror changes, it's just some coordination, $1,600. Modify the cubbies at the bottom of the first floor, $8,000, again, that's just a placeholder. Some signage that we ordered, it's under $1,000, but we already ordered it because we needed to,
We
because it
already
had to do with the oil tank and had to get that before putting oil in it. This is the police department, some coordination with their gate and the signaling for their gate, and then the pedestal to hold the card reader. So a couple items. So the ones with PCOs in them, in the columns, and that change order request. So starting with item number 137, it has a PCO 90.
Yep.
And then 99, or 144, which is PCO 99.
That work is done, by the way, PCO 90, because we're waiting for glass, should be coming this week.
98, 101 where we were saying is,
Approved already.
Mm-hmm.
we weren't sure, 94R, which is, bring the permanent power to the maintenance shed, so that, again, that work is already done. Just that they were originally, their proposal had provided electrical, and they were just gonna pull wires and keep them coiled up, and we said, it was like an extra $5,000. We said,
Yeah, it's crazy.
we don't know if we're even doing this, let's just get the conduit in the ground, that's first things first, just let's price that separate. And then number 100, you know, so it's those 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, if we could get approval on those 6 items.
Okay. And so what I think I hear you say is that I'm looking at item number 22, 42, 46, 55, back to 18, I mean, rock removal, I mean, I would imagine that's gone. I mean, I'm just,
Well, no, with that, that's an allowance we've had, and
Oh.
we mentioned that at the meeting today. Now that they're really finished digging to any kind of depth other than trenching for
Yeah.
curbing, we can finally close that out, and it will I forget, it's either gonna be a credit or an add,
I got you, yeah.
but it was a unit price thing, and we were keeping track of all of it as, you know, in the different instances. Now that we know there's no more deep digging, we can
Right.
finally close it out.
But some of this other stuff, yeah, up above, we could probably close some of those things out, but,
I think, the last meeting we talked about, we own some road work on South Road, and we had talked about going from the playground to the end, to the stop sign. I don't see that, is that in here, or?
That was already approved last time.
yeah.
That was
Oh,
like
okay, we did, all right,
23,000.
yeah, yeah, okay, all right. That's right, yeah, it wouldn't be here, cause it's already approved, all right.
Yeah, so you can see there's not a lot construction-wise. It'll be a lot of nickel and dime stuff because we're trying to finish up.
Yep.
You know, and then it's whatever kind of, you know, like if the fire department does request that we make some changes, or police department, or, you know,
Yeah.
building official, or,
Right.
you know, that's always the case. They always want something. You know, hopefully, what it actually kind of is, if they do bring the state fire marshal, ask the state fire marshal to come out, it's actually kind of a good thing, because they're not gonna ask for unreasonable stuff.
Right.
Where people who aren't used to doing this type of review may not be sure, and then they may just ask for stuff, and their interpretation may be, you know, something that isn't the standard, where the state fire marshal is gonna be probably pretty consistent, and things that they ask for are gonna be probably, you know, more reasonable. But they always ask for something. You know, they'll walk around and they say, well, I can't see an exit sign if I stand right here, so I want you to add another one right
Oh,
here.
I see what you, right, okay, yeah.
And that's fine, I mean, it is what it is. But we're doing, financially, we're doing very well. We haven't ordered the technology yet. That'll be coming up soon. We've ordered some. But that's a large line item that we have to order items for. And then, you know, for the most part, furniture is ordered. We met with some of the vendors today on site, and they took a look at access, how they can get into the building, where they can stage, and that sort of stuff.
I can't wait till you put the playground in, and I'll tell you, well, you know, the one that's gonna go back. Because if I hear one more time that that place doesn't have any playground, no play space for the kids, and, you know, it just, which, you know,
Yeah.
they've taken this thing out, they've ruined it, they've thrown it away, I don't know what they're saying,
I keep
but,
reminding them they had a chance to buy land. They
yeah,
didn't
oh,
buy it,
God,
so-
every time, if I had a nickel for every time someone points out the land that we should have bought.
Oh, wow.
Why
said,
didn't
"Look,
you say to them? Why
well,
didn't you?
well, I have now. I'm just saying, then why didn't you? Well, we were told. Well, look, I don't know. I came in 16, July 1, 2016. I don't know what to tell you. You know what I mean? Back in 12, I don't know what you did in 2012. You know, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But,
You know, honestly, I think, you know, the towns had some finances issues that they hadn't kind of gotten through, and the MSBA was kind of like at their wits' end. They're like, look, we want to give this money to you, but if you can't take it, we're going to give it to
they
somebody
were the
else.
first.
Yeah, we're in
This
the
was
first
the
round.
very first after that whole.
Yeah,
you know,
reorganization.
The reorganization process, and you think about that, I mean, that's a big deal, because there was a lot of people on that,
Yeah.
that were on that list, you know what I mean, kind of waiting for that, whatever, so.
Yeah, it is unfortunate that, like, you think of that auto salvage across the street. Not that we did any environmental investigation to know what remediation may have been
That would've been-
required. Because that can get real expensive real quick.
Well, you guys are sorta, you won't go through it like this, but you'll go through it a little bit in Gardner, right, where they think they wanna put the school, you know what I mean, that's the talk, but, no, I got it.
Yeah, we actually had a public forum at the city council.
Mhm.
And most people were for the school, which was good. Traffic,
Yeah.
the people who live it, it's their backyard, it's always the case.
Oh, yeah.
Just saying, well, why are you building a school in a swamp? Okay, just because there are wetlands nearby don't mean that it's a swamp wetlands, it could be just wetland soil, vegetative, wetland, and,
Waterford Street School was built on a swamp.
yeah.
I mean, that, all the water, Gardner.
Yeah, it's
I
a
know you
bowl.
do, But that's where all the water drains, almost from the entire city, pretty much. But it was the most cheapest available land, that's where schools were built.
Yeah, it's
I mean,
because
that's how
nobody
it
else
was back
built
in the
on it,
fifties or
there's a
whatever,
reason.
40s, yeah, right.
Well, they said the original plan said, relocate river.
Yes, yeah, that's right.
Um,
The old timers say that all the factories, that's where everything kind of drained down into, on purpose, like they had, that's,
Well, the
Say.
topography, it is kind of a bowl on three sides. And,
Yeah.
and it's a little swale before it drops off.
right.
Yeah, and Elm Street would have been good, but it's just too small a site. It just,
Yeah.
the amount of renovation of that building would be,
Flansburgh, who did the original, this is when I was there, they wanted Flansburgh's, but he even said to redo this, to make this building, which again, structurally is probably
oh, yeah.
the most sound building, in Gardner, built in the 30s. To build that straight back, because that was kind of what they thought, and then you take down Helen May Sauter,
Yeah,
but you'd have to cut right through the back of Stone Field, like
yes.
all the way back. And now you're abutting, for the most part, but to these houses, there goes Stone Field, you know what I mean? And, to build out this way and that way, it just
And
wasn't.
just the amount of the buses, there just wasn't a big enough bus loop. There wasn't enough big enough car loops.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's knock on wood, it's going well. They bought the land, or they
Yeah.
approved the money to buy the land.
Yeah, I saw that.
The biggest issue there is, National Grid had an easement through there, and we gotta do some due diligence on what did they spray to
Oh,
keep the vegetation down.
Yeah.
But otherwise, yeah, everyone's worried about the runoff, they're gonna kill Stump Pond or whatever.
Are the power lines through that area? I haven't,
Not
No.
anymore. Not
Not
in
through there.
15, 20 years.
if there was, maybe, I don't know if there was.
Oh, there was.
Oh, okay, I don't know that, but
Yeah, you can see from the satellite view, you see where they were.
oh, okay, okay.
So even though it's been 30 years, you can still see the scar through the woods.
Yeah.
It just may mean they're just not mature trees yet, but,
We don't know how it happened, but, well, we like a lot around here, but we have a friend of the family's who built in Winchton, beautiful home, but anyway, it's back off into the woods. The railroad owns basically right through his shed, but it's like a garage. So they're trying to sell it. And so of course all this comes up in the title search and whatever. You don't think now granted, there hasn't been a railroad. Matter of fact, there was never a railroad there, but the railroad owns it. And the railroad doesn't give up any land that it's ever had. I guess it's like this story, comes, and no matter how they tried to kind of figure out, so they said, look, move the shit, move the garage, because we're to literally move the garage over 30 feet. But how he got it to build there is like the whole other story. Like who knows, that kind of thing, but. And so I said, but there's no railroad there. It doesn't matter. The railroad bought it back in the who knows how long, And they
Yep.
don't ever give up land. I guess apparently they're, because they might need it someday, right? The railroad, what do you mean? So,
Rail to trail.
you know what I mean? Yeah, so I don't even, there is, of course, a lot of railroads around here, but it just, I had to laugh. They wouldn't give it up. They wouldn't even think about it. You never know. You could put a railroad right through here tomorrow. You never know. But anyway,
Yeah, railroad right-of-ways, I think they call them.
what's that?
Railroad, say this 3 times fast. Railroad right-of-way.
Okay.
They have that in a lot of areas, parallel
Mhm.
with where the tracks are.
Sure. Right, and I think there's railroad near there, so there had to be something to that effect. You know what I mean? But they just, they no matter how they tried, they would not. They're like, no. So, move the garage. But
Yeah,
other than that, though, we've, people have, I'm sorry, guys. Jeez, I keep answering these questions. Hi, it's Chris. His black one is, right? Okay, I'll have to use the other one then. Okay,
Yeah, I think Jen had these two on number 10.
eventually, yeah. Yes, I will.
And they hadn't been approved yet.
Yep. Okay, bye.
I thought they had.
My black glove is in your car. Yeah, well, okay. You have to play with your gray one. Whatever. Small. Well, make sure you catch it. So I'm glad. It looks like everything I haven't been through, but I am definitely going through this week. Or at least I'll come up to see if you guys are available. But I heard, well, Hank, you've been through the most.
Oh, gee.
You've been saying how much the changes. I was just saying earlier that you were like, every time you go through, even if it's a week or whatever, it's
Oh, yeah.
multiplied by 10.
Yeah, with the casework in now, I mean, not classroom, but like in the hallways, like the benches and that sort of stuff going in and,
Good question. Under the, I probably already answered it before, under the grand staircase, what's under that? You got like
There's a platform,
right, it's just,
then there's a curved bench
oh,
that goes, actually, not knowing when you were there, let's say the platform, the stair was here, here's the platform.
Yeah.
Half that platform is gone now. It was too, they did it, they screwed it up.
okay,
They built it the wrong size, so it had to be cut back.
oh, okay.
So it's only 5 feet,
Yeah, yeah.
maybe?
No, I just didn't
And
know it was going there.
It'd be a little platform
Yeah.
under there.
And some seating.
yeah, it looks great.
Every time I drive
All
by
the
it,
finishes really coming together. And the furniture designer was walking through today.
Oh,
and
good.
She got all excited about, oh yeah, all the colors are really gonna mesh well here. It's just gonna look good. It never even occurred to me about furniture.
Yeah, that's what they did.
Furniture starts June 3rd,
Oh, that's awesome.
and pretty much is a couple a day all the way through till early
Mid-July.
mid-July.
Plenty of time.
Quite a few rooms already cleaned up, I saw the signs there last week.
Yeah, they'll need to go in and wipe them down or something again probably, but.
Right, but they got,
The other thing is technology, getting that going,
Yeah.
getting the servers and all that stuff ordered and going, because we need some of it in order to tie in the building automation system and some of the other systems.
Why did we wait so long? Just normal,
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, it just seems
They
like.
always wait a long time on
Yeah, I know,
technology,
that
but.
it keeps evolving and all that stuff, but then you're doing the old summer scrambler, trying to, the last minute, get it all in, programmed and all those laptops.
Well, they should be able to do that, no problem. That's already been released,
Oh,
Wally
really?
Computer. They did, Granby. Wally Computer.
so we just got those 6 numbered change orders, so yeah, I'm all set with that.
Yes. Oh, absolutely. Yes. Of course I am. Absolutely. With those 6. Yeah. Remind me though, I remember this conversation, I remember Emily talking about it, about the server, the $50,000, or
Servery?
the server, yeah, the serving line equipment. Remind me again what that was all about?
Because of the extra kids, I think they wanna come in with 2 lines and
That's
go
it.
out.
There's a
So
whole
Basically,
other-
they wanted it symmetrical,
Right, okay.
hot on this side, hot on that side, cold on that side, cold on that.
It was actually adding a whole other serving, if I remember correctly, wouldn't, or,
We have to take out, we have 2 options. One is we have to take out the cold that's next to the hot,
hot, yeah.
put in a cold, then do something,
Hot.
I'm sorry, put in a hot, and then do something on the other end to make that cold,
Right.
and it's really confusing.
So that way, so the kids can come in basically like this.
Right.
Correct, and then come out.
Right, in the center.
Oh, I'm sorry. in
Sorry,
the
no,
cen-
you're right,
yeah.
you're right. On the
Round
edges,
and then-
come out through the middle.
Right.
Which is where the cashiers are.
I'll tell you that, you know, from Emily's perspective, and we talked a lot about this, it's the little things, of course, that
Oh,
become
yeah.
the big things.
Oh, yeah.
You know, to push that many kids, it doesn't matter about the potential reorganization or anything like that. We were, you know, just getting that many kids just normally through, because we're gonna have to turn over so many kids quickly, that we needed to do those 2 lines. And she said, Chris, we'll never get through, because little kids are slow. That's the other part, we
Yeah.
have to know
By
that.
the time they
Just-
get through the
I
line,
would
they got
never-
2
I would
minutes
never
to
thought of
eat.
that. I'll tell you right now, I'd be like, geez, are you kidding me? We're in, we're out. Until I did kindergarten, 1st grade lunch
Yeah.
last year. I'm like, oh my gosh, no, you. I don't like milk. My mom says milk. You don't want my milk. Then you're like, okay, come on, let's go. You're like trying to get them through and
You
stuff.
got 2 minutes
Yeah,
to eat, let's
That's
go.
it. It's almost like that. So just on top of everything else. So good. Okay.
It looks really good. The flooring is going down in the cafeteria, so you can kind of look down on it from the teacher workroom upstairs, and looks good.
I can't wait to see the gym.
Yeah, there's not much to see right now, because the flooring is covered,
Oh, that's right.
and there's junk in there, you know, all sorts of stuff.
Oh, they got the. They got okay.
They're gonna be, as they're pulling out of the rest of the building and working their way down, they're gonna be working their way towards the loading dock area, so the gym, that kind of store, you know, custodial loading dock area, that'll be the last places to get cleaned up.
And the gym's gonna be a mobilization area for when all the equipment that comes in, the furniture.
Okay.
They'll, you know, unbox it there, they have some.
They'll come in through the.
So it'll be a staging area,
Yeah.
and once that's all done, then we'll get the plywood pulled up and the floor cleaned.
So we did order some boxes for people to pack up their items to move in. I'm not sure if Rick is distributing those, or,
Yeah, they should already be, he was
Packing.
gonna make arrangements on his end, and we brought them to both schools, a week and a half ago. So they can start packing up at their leisure.
Oh, they're packing. So what the teachers know, and you can tell you have a pretty senior group, is that they were so funny. We were talking about this the other day. You start packing, you're signaling to kids, school's over. Truthfully, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
let's just say if you started packing today, they're not, but let's say they did. If you do it too early,
Yeah.
you've told a bunch of, I don't know, 3rd graders, 4th graders, school's over.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, they know that the date isn't, but
You lost
for all intents and purposes, school's over. So it's been it's been interesting because they've been talking about kind of packing, you know, and then moving the boxes to, you know, just get the boxes out of the way. In other words, so they don't even see the boxes. But a lot of those folks, especially at BES, have they've been just detrashing, you know, just really just getting rid of just junk for the last year.
oh, good.
Christine Boudreau has been great. She's been there a long time, and she's like, I started like a year, you know, and I feel good that I've now got. They know they can't take anything old. They know they can't take anything with them, other than educational.
That's good.
things. No bookcases. No homemade clocks. No, I went through this long, crazy list, you know, but. Somebody said, can I take pictures of my
Refrigerators
kids? I
and
said, not if it's in
microwaves are
not if it's in an
pretty
ugly
popular.
wooden frame, you can't. That's what I told them.
Has to match our wood.
It's got, yeah, that's what I said, unless it's better be an oak, because, no. But they get it, they got it, they, you know, the 5th grade, they don't have a lot to, you know, now you start getting kind of middle school-esque,
Yeah,
kind of, you're not really moving a lot of stuff, but those kindergarten, first grade,
oh, yeah.
you know.
Those
Odd
little
Green too
wooden
usually
shelves
has
with
a
all the
lot.
plastic bins that they have.
Mhm.
Yeah,
The art people, you know, stuff like that. Although she's on a cart basically, or she was for, you know, the last couple of years. She's got room now. She doesn't have a ton of stuff like you would imagine if she had like a pre-existing, you know, like a art room for 30 years type of thing. That'd be a whole other.
yep, been there.
And BES is actually, though, she does have an art room down there, but she knows that, you know, she's not taking, you know, all this trinkets and. Just trying to think of some other things.
All the supplies for custodial stuff.
Yeah, the custodial supplies that we've, you know, that's all been
That's all-
Rick, right, that's all
That's what I
part of
meant.
it. Yeah,
We get what
Rick's,
we want,
you know,
right?
I almost said a buffer, but of course that's not what I mean, but
Yeah,
all that type of things.
the lift.
Yes, the lift and,
What was
I don't
the
know about-
old facilities person,
oh,
Bill Claiborne?
Bill Claiborne?
yeah, Bill Claybaugh. When they do the ribbon cutting, you'll have to invite Bill.
Yep,
Oh, yeah.
He'll try and convince you to still put in a wood chip boiler or something.
yeah. Gonna need about 8 more acres of land to do that.
Yeah, Bill, he was here until,
I left. He left when so Rick, I was part of, well, I just sat there with Steve, but
Right.
Steve hired Rick,
okay,
like for July 1, 2000. So Rick and I started
started the same.
Yeah, same day.
Okay.
Yeah.
That flies, huh?
I know. Be 3 years in
It's 3
July.
years, I
Yeah.
believe.
So that must have been the same time we emptied the old school.
It was exactly then. One of my first kind of walk-arounds type of thing, as, you know, just trying to get the lay of the land. This was prior to July 1, but while they were still in school, I went over to Templeton Center, the original, honestly, just to see it. I mean, you know, and all the teachers are all packed up, and they were too. They were packed up to the, boom, those boxes were done, marked, all set.
Ready to go.
They were ready to go. I'll always remember that. They were like, we are ready. In other words, take us. So it was pretty, yep.
Yeah.
And then I
that
was there for the decommit, you know, kind of they had like a
Yeah,
little
mothball the
ceremony during
building.
the summer, you know, and it was really nice.
And then we went on hiatus for a while.
Yeah, well, yeah, because we didn't get back to it.
Oh, yeah,
Well,
yeah,
right
yeah,
now,
yeah,
it was
yeah,
Good
yeah,
Friday.
yeah.
Good Friday, we had the meeting with, the MSBA came up, we didn't have school. They came up, we had that meeting in the central office. They made us basically re-sign a whole kind of agreement and the whole bit. Whips was there, and so we were all, it was funny, Joe was funny, he was funny that day. So I feel, you know, you come all the way up this way, he goes, oh, it's a nice drive up here, it's a beautiful drive, Good Friday. He said, let's see if we can build you a school. That's what I always remember as he's coming out. But- Yep. And then that vote was when? It was that in the spring that we had to, yeah.
2 years ago.
Yeah, 2 years ago, right. Let's see what the nice people are saying about us there.
There's some real new ones in there too.
It's a re-
I've seen
So,
them all. They're all coming out of the woodwork.
they are coming out, so there's a Facebook page, which I've titled it, I Hate Templeton. These people, there's nothing good, right? So they're just so, I knew they were talking very poorly about the schools and the budget, so I asked permission to join. It's a private whatever, so I said, oh, maybe they'll accept me. Sure enough. And I went. So Hank and I have, as best as we can, try to, deflect, answer, because some of these people make the most I mean, unbelievable statements. I mean, just out of this world crazy, like just, and so we try to hit them back with some facts, which, so my favorite so far is people like this, the tax rate, the tax is gonna go up, it's gonna be $32 per thousand, just craziness, right? Who knows when the tax is gonna, Hank has posted the taxes that are on the website at least 5 times. That's no exaggeration. Here they are. No, that doesn't fit their narrative, right?
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
you know what I mean? It doesn't, this is fact schmacks. So finally someone came on and said, look, I'm not someone who makes a, rash decision. I've been weighing all this and I'm going to vote no because, Hank Mason and the schools can't tell us what the tax implications are, whatever. So finally I said, that's not our job. We're the school. How about you talk to your town officials and ask them? We're the only two. You're asking us. Talk to.
Yeah.
Nope. That just tells me everything I need to know. And if you can't tell me, whatever. And so it is some of it's it's comical, whatever. But other it gets whatever. But there are some. I mean, how can we tell if they're going to count the votes fairly? I mean, I am talking like.
Oh, yeah.
That was crazy.
These are conspiracy theorists.
Oh, yeah, like, are we sure that these people can be trusted? It's electronic. Yeah, I think pretty much you can, hanging, what do you think, hanging chads or?
Chad's right.
Yeah.
Pretty sure there's no Russian infiltration in our system.
Well, it's one thing if people are just uninformed and you can
Mhm.
provide information. It's another thing if they're choosing not to,
Oh, yeah.
pay attention to what the information you're providing and just,
Yeah, like I said, it doesn't fit the narrative.
No.
yeah, it's kind of like the people who are saying, the hoaxers who say that this was a hoax or that was a hoax that never happened, and you're like, well, they
Yeah.
discover these things. What was the guy who was just banned from Facebook, the hoaxer guy, the big hoaxer?
There's a bunch of them, yeah. There were.
Jones or something like that.
Oh, yeah, Alex Jones.
Alex Jones. I was listening to a story, like a podcast about him. It was just kind of interesting.
He's weird, he's weird.
These are some beautiful people. I'm telling you right now.
Nothing's popped up.
They should
for a
fire you guys, man. They should give, school committee meetings on Thursday night. Come on out, Tuesday night, come on out.
Well, at the public forum in Gardner, they did have somebody who was, peppering the mayor with questions about how many petition signatures do I need on a petition? And he's like, I don't know. You gotta talk to the registry of voters. Find out you need a certain percentage of,
Yeah, right,
like-
exactly. Yeah,
Like, I wanna know. He's like, well, I'll find out and I'll let you know Tuesday. I wanna know. I want an answer.
I know.
I said, I'll tell you Tuesday.
It's been,
If I can change the subject. for
sure,
a
please
second.
do.
Yes.
All right. Did we talk about the additional curbing,
No.
why, it's not on here?
So there's some additional curbing that,
Has to be on here.
to kind of prevent or to kind of belt and suspenders to channel water into catch basins along the edges of the road, so to add some curbing.
Oh, yeah.
Do we have a price for it though, Matt? Did we ever have a price?
No, we don't.
You
We
talking about
just
Wellington?
actually got the, excuse me, the proposal request on Friday.
But if we were saying it's 500 feet, and let's just for round numbers say it's $10 a foot, that's $5,000.
Yeah.
I don't think it's that much.
No, I mean, it's done while they're paving, it's just, it's a little wedge like this.
Yeah.
Cape Cod berm kind of.
That is a long,
So say if we had approval of under $10,000. So let's get a price and we'll see what it is. Hopefully it's under 10,000. We can just go forward with it.
Yeah.
But I would imagine it'll be probably closer to 5. or less, because I think it's really only about 200 feet in one spot, and then maybe,
Yeah, it's like 30 feet at what's his name, George Barnes. And, oh, that was it. And then there was that little berm I had them do to
yeah,
prevent,
it's,
so that's it, I mean, it's
There's not much.
under 300 feet.
yeah,
That's,
Anyway, that should
so
be-
a worst case is
cut
probably
on
$3,000, but probably a lot less.
that won't be till August when they do the final paving, more or less.
Yeah,
I don't understand this.
I did a sort by, if it wasn't shown as pending,
Mm-hmm.
then it didn't show up.
It's the new generation of
If
AVs.
it's been approved,
I know.
It's not the old
What's
guys.
or if
his
it's
name?
rejected,
Wasn't that either, but,
so it may be there, or maybe it just didn't,
okay.
maybe it has one, just didn't have anything in that box.
Take care of that.
Are you guys almost done?
We start at 6.
Huh?
We start at 6,
Status?
yes.
We do too. This is supposed to be our room. There's nothing to be down in the other room.
Ours has to be televised, it's the building committee.
You're gonna be televised?
Yeah, well, you know, I mean, recorded, I don't mean
Okay, well,
televised,
okay
yeah.
then. There's a mix-up because we have.
Oh, I'm sorry.
We'll steal
Oh,
the other one.
all right.
We'll steal the other one.
Okay,
We
thank
don't
you.
want we
All right.
don't want it.
Today's Tuesday, so they probably do have them.
They probably have it every month, every other month.
Yeah, that's the post. For that
It's
copy,
beautiful.
$440.
Need the state to take over.
That's right.
My God, these people are crazy. So,
Thank you.
Howdy.
Good, good, good. Boy, did today's weather swing.
Getting ready for summer?
Trying.
Trying,
For the next couple of weeks.
I know, the big push to,
Yeah. Let's hope summer feels like summer.
Right.
No.
Yeah, it's not just a date on the calendar.